Hey, welcome, JJ, the Lonely Bullinasia. Topic today is we're going to talk about the 8 biggest myths or lies about the Philippines. Stick around, we'll do that next. All right, so welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, it's JJ, the Lonely Bullinasia. In case you just stumbled on it, I'm JJ. I'm the Lonely Bull. I do this channel to share my experiences with anybody who is interested in visiting or living in Southeast Asia, and specifically in the Philippines. I'm here in Bonifacio Global City, BGC, in Metro Manila, and that's where I live. I've been here for over 2 years now. I absolutely love it. I love the Philippines. I love Southeast Asia. So if you're like me and you like Southeast Asia, you like the Philippines, or you're thinking about moving here, or you do live here, hit that like button for me. We really would appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too, and that alert bell. That way you get notified when I post new videos. So today's topic is the 8 biggest myths or lies about the Philippines. And make sure you stick around for number 8 because it'll floor you. Okay. All right. First of all, myth number 1: you can live like a king on less than $1,000 US a month. No, you can't live like a king. You can live on $1,000 a month or less, but you're not going to live like a king. I mean, I see these YouTubers all the time talking about, I live on $500 a month here in the Philippines. Yeah, maybe, but are you going to have a good life? I mean, really, you're going to be living in almost like a squatter's area. I mean, you're going to be living in the province, most likely. You're going to be living in one of those hollow block, cinder block houses, very small, maybe 20 square meters if you're lucky. If you're lucky, you'll have a toilet and indoor plumbing. If you're lucky, you won't have to shower with a bucket. And if you're lucky, you'll have water heated for you when you do shower. So that's not living like a king. So if you see those videos and you see those YouTubers that keep claiming you can live on $500 a month or $1,000 a month and live like a king in Southeast Asia or the Philippines, that's a lie. That's a myth. Now, I suggest that $2,000 a month is a good start. I mean, I average about $1,700 a month in expenses. That's an average. So some months it'll be a little more, some months it'll be a little less. My utility bills are going to be higher this coming month because of the heat wave that's coming through. So I suspect that my electric bill is going to be double, maybe triple. I try not to overuse my AC because I want to conserve as much money as possible. But about $1,700 is average. I pay about $600, a little over $600 a month for my rent. Utilities come to about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. I pay about $800 a month for my Wi-Fi. So those things, and then you have food. You can get your groceries. You can get that fairly cheap if you shop around a little bit. If you like to go out to eat, there's some deals here in BGC where you can get a nice meal for under 400 peso, which is under $8, about $7.50. So that's not bad. But it just depends how often you want to go out to eat. If you want to go have a couple of drinks, depends where you go. There's some deals where you can get a bucket of beers, 6 beers for 400 pesos. So 6 beers for under $8. Those are pretty good deals here in BGC. But you can also go on the high end and spend as much as you want. I'm here at Wolfgang's right now, and a mug of beer is going to cost me about 235 peso. So that's just under $5, about $4.50 probably. So you can spend a lot of money here, or you can be conservative, but you're not going to be happy spending or living on less than $1,000 a month. I would say 2,000 is a nice round figure, and have a nice savings account, and make sure you've got that steady income, 2,000 a month, and you'll be happy. You won't live like a king, but you'll be happy and you'll be comfortable, and you'll probably live a better life, or as good a life as you would in the States or in the West. All right, myth number 2, or lie number 2. Dating is easy in the Philippines. It's easier than the West, I will say that. But it's not necessarily easy. I mean, you can't just walk off the plane and you're going to have a girlfriend in your arms. I mean, I suppose you could if you're in an LDR, a long distance relationship, and she meets you at the airport. But then the problem you run into there is she's automatically your girlfriend. And so now you've run out of options. So if that's okay with you, then go for it. But if you're coming out here and you want to find a girlfriend, and you want to kind of hit that dating scene a little bit before, don't have a girlfriend before you get here. Find one when you get here. Find where you want to live, where you want to retire, where you want to reside here in the Philippines, and then look for a girl that's there already, or you could bring in fairly easily. So, but the dating scene, I mean, you can get on the dating sites, and that's a real hit or miss. It's getting to the point where the majority of the girls on these dating sites tend to be very transactional. They're looking for a sugar daddy. They're looking for somebody to take care of them right away, or they're not looking for a boyfriend. They're just looking for a transaction. So, if you know what I mean. So that's a lot. That happens a lot on dating sites. So your best bet would be here's what I would do. If I was to do this all over again, I would have friends here in the Philippines that I could, people I meet and befriend who have Filipina girlfriends who can introduce you to one of their friends. That's probably a very good way to find a girl, because if they have a foreigner boyfriend, most likely their girlfriends are looking at that saying, "Ooh, I want a foreigner boyfriend too." So there's a good opportunity. Or you're at a restaurant, you're at a bar, you're somewhere, and you meet a girl. You just say hi to them, or you're walking down the sidewalk. Say hi to somebody. If they say hi back and smile, strike up a conversation. Or if you want to go the route of, oh, this waitress that's waiting on me, I really like her, I'm going to get her to the side and try to get her phone number to contact her later, and maybe we can go out when she's off work. That's fine too. Those are some options other than dating sites. Now, there are some dating sites that are pretty good, and from what I understand, if you pay your dating site, you're going to have better luck than if you just go the free route. So if that's what you want to do, make a monthly payment until you find somebody, then get off that site. Okay? All right. Myth or lie number 3 in the Philippines: the food is bad. All right. So let me qualify this. So when that blanket statement says the food is bad in the Philippines, or all food is bad in the Philippines, what exactly are these people that are saying that talking about? Are they talking about Filipino food? Are they talking about Western food done here in the Philippines? Because there are some really good restaurants here, both Western and Filipino, that have very good food. And if you have a girlfriend that cooks, she has great skills in the kitchen. She can make you a very good meal. Now, there are some Filipino foods that aren't that great. They're full of grease, they're full of salt, they're full of sugar, granted, but there are some very, very good Filipino dishes. Lechon, which is the roast pig, very, very good. Lumpia, which is kind of like the egg roll, almost like an egg roll, but they have different kinds of meat inside, and that's very, very good. Sisigs can be very good. What else? Pancit. Pancit is the noodles, the thin noodles. Very, very delicious. So there are some very good Philippine food that you can get here, Filipino dishes that are excellent. Myth number 4, or lie number 4, the Philippines is dangerous. Well, is it dangerous? Is it more dangerous than where you're from or where I'm from? I don't think so. I was in the States last year, September, October, and I was in San Antonio on Riverwalk, and I felt a little threatened. There were a couple of shady people following me around, kind of sketchy, kind of scoping me out because I had my gimbal and my camera and I was videotaping the Riverwalk, and I noticed that they were following me around, and so I knew I was in kind of a area that wasn't very popular. There weren't a lot of people around, so I got out of there real quick. Now here in the Philippines, if you go down to southern Mindanao, yeah, that could be very dangerous. There's some sketchy activity going on down there, and even in Manila, in some areas of Manila, you don't want to be there at certain times of the night. So, but you just have to be aware of your surroundings and understand, where you're at, when you're there, and just be careful. Keep your head on a swivel and just stay out of those areas in those times of day or night, and you'll be fine. It's no worse than anywhere else in the world. In fact, it's probably safer. BGC, where I live for the last over 2 years, it's one of the safest, if not the safest areas in the entire country, if not most of the world. I mean, I don't feel threatened ever here. So it's super safe. So that's myth number 4. Myth number 5, Filipinos are scammers, or lie number 5. All Filipinos are scammers. Not true. Not true at all. Now, there are a small percentage of Filipinos that are out there to scam foreigners, get them out of their money or whatever. But if you're subjected to that, shame on you. You need to understand that the only reason you're scammed is because you're allowing it. If you're sending money to a Filipina and you haven't met her yet, that's a big red flag. That's a big no-no, okay? That's a major no-no. Don't do it. If you're doing it now, stop. If you haven't met this girl in person, why are you sending her money? Because you got an LDR and you're in love with her and she says she's in love with you. You don't know that she's saying that to 5 other guys and they're sending her money too. So she's got a good thing going on. And it's only a scam if you allow it to be. So just be aware of that. Get here to the Philippines, meet a girl in person before you even think about giving her money or anything. All right, myth or lie number 6. The BGC is too expensive. BGC is too expensive. Let me bust that myth for you. Yes, it's arguably the most expensive city in the Philippines, but you can find really good deals here in BGC. My condo cost me $610 US a month. My budget here in BGC is about $1,700 US a month. Some months a little higher, some months a little lower, but it averages about $1,700. So I'm paying $610 for a rent. My utilities come to about 4,000 or 5,000 peso a month. That's electric and water. My high-speed internet is about 1,800 peso a month. So with groceries, eating out, having drinks with friends, or going on dates, my budget average is about $1,700 a month. So what I always would say is, if you are making a minimum of $2,000 a month US, you can live pretty much anywhere in the Philippines. Now, you're going to live a little tighter in BGC than you would in some other province areas, but you can still manage, okay? You just have to manage your money a little more. But it's possible. You can find restaurants here where you can get a good meal for under 400 peso for a meal, which is about $750 US. I can get a bucket of 6 beers and share with my friends for 400 peso, $750 for 6 beers. So you can find those deals. You can also find as much as you want. You can go as high as you want. If you're making, FU money, you can come here to Wolfgang's, which is where I am, and you can spend 18,000 peso on a steak dinner. You can spend as much as you want, but you can also live a decent life on a budget here. Like I said, 1,700 gives me lots of extra money left over each month, so I can do my traveling, because I love to travel to other Southeast Asian countries and I can do that, okay? So that's myth number 6. Myth number 7, it's impossible to date in BGC. Okay, so I already said dating is easy. That's a myth. Now, it's impossible to date in BGC. I did a video about a month ago. If you're an old retired expat and you're living in BGC, or you come to BGC and you want to date a young, beautiful Filipina, you're not going to find one here in BGC, not living here. Because the young Filipinas or the young women that live here in BGC are career professional women that are either working in a career and making good money, or their family is in good money and making good money and high end. They're either Filipinas that live here in BGC that are high end, high dollar earners, or they're from Korea, China, or Japan, and they're here with their family, or they're here making good money. So they're looking for like-minded people. They're looking for guys that are closer to their age. They're looking for guys that make good money and have a good career. They're not looking for old expats who are retired on a fixed income of less than $2,000. So if that's what you're looking for, you won't find it here. Now, don't fear, because we're in Metro Manila. There are millions of people in this area. There are millions of young, beautiful, single Filipina that would love to date a foreigner that lives in BGC. You just have to go out and find them. They're not in BGC. They're outside of BGC. They're living in Taguig. They're living in Makati. They're living in Pasig. They're living in Pasay. They're living in Manila. Wherever. They're living in the provinces. You just have to find them and bring them here. They would love to come here. Maybe they haven't seen BGC before. So they're going to think it's the best thing ever, you know? Take them to a nice restaurant, you know, spend a little bit of money on them because they're probably used to Jollibee, you know. So bring them here, give them a little taste of what BGC is like. Maybe you want them to live with you. That's a possibility too, and they're probably going to be for it as well. So I know some guys that have done that. They've brought Filipinos in from the province, and they live with them now, and they're completely happy. These are older expats that are living with young Filipina in their 20s. It can happen. So don't give up. If that's what your thing is, if you want to date a young Filipina and you're an older guy retiring here or moving here, there's still hope for BGC. You can just bring them in, okay? And finally, myth or lie number 8. All Filipino want to move to America. That's not true at all. I know you might be thinking, you know, I want to come there. I want to live in the Philippines, but I'm afraid that the Filipina that I meet and want to marry is going to want to move back to the States and get married. That's not the case necessarily. A small percentage of Filipina will want to do that K-1 visa and move back to your home country to get married. But the majority of Filipina are family oriented, and they want to stay in the Philippines and be with their family or be near their family. That's just the way they're brought up. And you can find a nice Filipina that wants to stay here in the Philippines and be with you and love you, and you can have that perfect life here in the Philippines with your Filipina. There's your 8 myths. Hit that like button. Put those comments down below. What do you think? Did I miss anything? Is there something I didn't come up with that you have that's a myth that you bust? I do appreciate the likes and subscribes. And until the next time, if you want to know more details about coming to the Philippines, check this video out here. Until next time, mabuhay, live life, my friend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.